What's up guys, it's your coach Łukasz, and today we're gonna go over how to hip hinge properly so we can prevent injuries and also do the exercises correctly on the gym. So check it out. When you guys doing a hip hinge, we're primarily working on our hamstrings, our glutes, and also core and your back stabilizers as well. When you guys doing a hip hinge, your feet should be hip width apart. From this position, imagine like you're chopping your hips with like a karate chop. You guys are gonna bring your hips up, knees slightly bent, and my lower back is flat and tight. Okay, so this is a proper way to do a hip hinge. Common mistakes that people do when they hip hinge, they're doing like a squat hinge, where the knees moving forward, and they're kind of like in this position, right? So this is kind of like the squatting. Another common mistake that people do is they round in their back. So they are here and the back is like rounded and they are, they're not engaging the core. So a few drills that you guys can do to improve your hip hinge are this. So check it out. All right guys, so drill number one that's gonna help you to improve your hip hinge is a drill against the wall. So what you guys gonna do is you're gonna move your body a little bit away from the wall. And from this position, what you guys wanna do is you wanna chop your hips like a karate chop, move your hips up and slightly bend your knees. So I'm touching the wall with my butt, okay? So now I know that I'm loaded in my hamstrings. I actually feel right now tension in my hamstrings. So now I know that I'm hinging, okay? If I would be squatting, if my knees would be moving forward, then my butt would not touch the wall. So then I know that I'm not hinging. So this is a drill that you guys can do. All right guys, so drill number two that you can improve your hip hinge is this. You guys gonna grab a stick and you're gonna put the stick on the 3 points of contact. So you're gonna put the stick on your head, on your upper back, and also on your hip. So from this position, you're gonna go like, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm gonna grab underhand on my lower back, and this one goes on top of my head. So I'm holding the stick, okay? And now I'm gonna practice the hip hinge. So I wanna make sure that the stick is touching 3 points of contact. So my head, my upper back, and my hip. So from this position, I'm gonna keep my feet hip width apart, and I'm gonna try to hip hinge. And I wanna make sure that I'm maintaining the contact with the stick on the 3 points of my body, okay? So if that happens, that I know that I'm hip hinging correctly. Now look, if I would be rounding my back or if I would be squatting, I'm gonna lose contact with the stick. So now you can see that the stick is not touching my hip. Or if I move my head forward, then I know that my body is not in a correct position, okay? So again, 3 points of contact, hips up, slightly bend your knees. You should feel tension in your hamstrings, and then come back up and squeeze your butt on top. So this is another drill that you guys can practice to improve your hip hinge. All right guys, drill number three is a drill on front of the bench. You're gonna be on front of the bench. So again, very common mistakes when people hip hinge, they're squatting. So their knees are moving forward. So if you're gonna be squatting, you're gonna be touching the bench with your knees. So now you know that you're not hip hinging, right? So what we wanna do is, this is a drill that you can practice. You're gonna put your shins or your legs against the bench, hips up, and now you're in a proper position, right? Again, if I would be squatting, then my knees are moving forward against the bench. All right guys, and drill number four is a hip hinge drill where your legs gonna be behind a barbell. So what you can do, you can put like 2 plates behind the barbell so the barbell is not moving. Make sure not losing contact with the barbell with your legs. So again, I'm gonna move my hips up, back straight, engage my core, tension in the hamstrings. If I would be squatting, I'm gonna lose the contact with the barbell, right? So again, hips up, slightly, retract your shoulder blades, lats tight, come back up and exhale. Nice and control. Again, we don't wanna do this because I'm gonna lose the contact with the barbell. So this is drill number 4 that you guys can practice to improve your hip hinge. Hip hinge is very important, fundamental human movement that we do throughout the day, but also for many common exercises that we're doing on the gym. So for example, like kettlebell swings or Romanian deadlifts or bent overalls with hip hinging. And unfortunately, you know, not a lot of people know how to do that correctly, and that puts a lot of risk for injuries, like for example lower back injury. So make sure that you guys practicing hip hinge, use those drills. You can do them at home or in the gym live. One more time. We're gonna do bloopers from that. So now if you want to watch some more of the similar content here, and other than that, I'll see you on the gym. So we're gonna redo that one more time. Okay. So hip hinge is a very common exercise movement, but one more time.
Okay.
All right, guys. So one more time. Sorry.
It's all right.
Move your body more forward, like slightly, like a few inches away from the floor. Let's just do it just one more time, just in case. Other than that, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to like the button. And but it's also used in everyday common. One more time. Let's do one more time this.
Okay.
And I see you on soon. One more time.